This is characteristics of sound. Generally, we have three types of characteristics of sound. Number one is loudness and intensity. Number two is pitch or shrillness, and number three is quality or timbre. We'll discuss all these three one by one, but here first we'll discuss loudness and intensity. Okay, let's see what is loudness. If you have sound source, okay, S1 and S2, so we have two sound source. Now if they produce both sound, if these two sounds are equal, but it may be differ by this loudness. Okay, so now if you see this loudness or characteristics of sound, suppose if you draw the graph of these two sound, okay, now these two sounds you may see like this, and this is the shape of the wave of the sound, and there is another sound, same type of sound, or their shape is also same, but due to the loudness, or they have different loudness, you can see this is little bit long, or its height is more than its height. Okay, so this height, we know that this is called amplitude, or this is vibration of air particle, etc., or vibration of medium. Okay, and down one is, here is also a, this amplitude. If you compare these two amplitude, this is greater amplitude, this is smaller amplitude. This amplitude gives the different loudness, or loudness L. Okay, uh, depends on the amplitude. If there is high amplitude, it has more loudness, and if you have a small amplitude, it has small loudness. This is the first characteristics of sound, or loudness is directly proportional to the amplitude. If two sounds have everything is same, but they will may differ by loudness. Okay, their waveform is also same, or within this second of time, this also have the same waveform. Okay, but only one is small and there is large amplitude. So this is called loudness of a sound. And second is here now, this intensity. What is intensity of a sound? Intensity I. Okay, this depends on or directly proportional to the energy of a sound. Okay, energy of a sound which is passing through an area. Clear? You can imagine if there is a source of sound S, so it produces the sound, and sound goes going in this direction. If you imagine an area, like a flat area, so this sound energy is passing through this area A. Okay, so it has some energy E. Now this amount of energy within this area, or intensity I, is equal to amount of energy within given area. Okay, so this amount of energy within the area is known as intensity of sound, or intensity depends on other factor also, directly proportional to the amplitude A. If the amplitude is high, okay, so its intensity also becomes very high. Or generally we have other factors also. Intensity of sound wave in air proportional to the square of the amplitude of the vibration, or in general, in first condition, amplitude I proportional to the square of amplitude, and second is square of the frequency of vibration. Number two is this is the square of frequency of vibration, and third is density of air. Number three, this is directly proportional to the density of air, D. And fourth one is intensity depends on the velocity also, okay, proportional to the V. Or if you combine all these four factors, so you can write down this proportional to, or I is intensity proportional to A square F square D into V. Okay, this is the formula. Okay, generally we can write down I equal to A square F square D into V. A is amplitude, F is frequency, D is density of medium or air, and V is the speed of sound. So this is the factor of intensity. So these are what characteristics of sound, loudness and intensity.